Welcome to the Rick and Morgan podcast, presented by Lemon Sports Network. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Ricky Lemon.
Welcome to the pod. How about Jared Goff this week, Rick?
Oh, fantastic.
Not your grandpa's Goff anymore, huh? Jared.
More like Jared Soft.
Jared is crapping his pants the last couple of weeks.
You know who
Jared
isn't,
Goff.
though?
Oh, boy.
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he's kind of...
He's kind of what?
Somebody needs to slow him down a little bit because it's getting ridiculous. It's getting a little ridiculous.
I think it's been ridiculous
If
all
he
year.
stays on this pace the rest of his career, he's like the greatest quarterback, the greatest athlete to ever live.
Yeah. Screw the MJ LeBron debate.
Forget about that. LeBron couldn't do this. He couldn't no-look pass. Everyone talks about his 4-foot no-look pass.
Try 20 yards.
Yeah, across your body like freaking A. How you doing, Rick? You doing okay?
Well, I'm doing okay.
You're doing good?
Christmas shopping?
Yeah.
You?
No, not any of that. I Amazoned a few items, but that's about it.
See, that's like the new way of doing it. That's probably the smart way of doing it, too.
Sit at work.
Yeah.
Type in Amazon.
No, you don't have to sit in traffic for an hour. You don't have to go to the mall.
I feel like going to the actual store is easier to shop because I'm sitting online and there's so much nonsense on there that I don't need to see.
I agree with that.
I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to buy stuff here and there's nothing anybody would ever want on there.
Even if you don't know what you want to get, you can go to the store. As long as you just have an idea, you can go to the store, go to that section
and get it,
like electronics, and then boom, you're there. But on Amazon, you're just like scrolling through it. You see like
everything in society's on there.
Right, yes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
Everything in existence is on Amazon.
Everything in existence on Amazon. You want weed? You can buy it on Amazon.
That's what we call the dark Amazon.
Dark Amazon. So let's get started. We got a lot to talk about today.
Dank Amazon.
What? We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about Pittsburgh again. Seattle Seahawks, the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously the New England Patriots, and other assortment of news. But this week we are introducing a new segment called In the News to give you an update on news surrounding the NFL. So let's get started. We're just going to blow through this point by point. If you have something to say, say it.
Okay.
Carson Wentz this week. He missed, I think, a practice on...
He sucks. Oh, sorry.
he missed a practice on Tuesday, and everyone was like, I just missed a practice. Don't worry about it. Today, there was a report that said he may not play the rest of the season for the Eagles. Ooh. They might keep him out. That's kind of surprising.
Tank.
They're like, we're just going to lose. Put Nick Foles in there.
Hey, like, what do you mean they're going to lose by putting Nick Foles in there? Now they have the true Super Bowl winning quarterback in there. They're going to win the division, make the playoffs, and go back
you know what?
to back.
Stupid part if that happens, Carson Wentz is out of a job.
Yeah. Hey,
unfortunately.
Pats will take him.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh, my God. If he came to the Pats.
Oh, you would die. You would just have a heart attack.
I would, the second they signed him, I'd be outside of Dick's Sporting Goods demanding a jersey.
Sir, what are you're just banging on the window.
Carson Wentz. Do you have Patriots Carson Wentz jerseys? Make it happen.
The deal hasn't even been official yet.
Do it.
Takes days to print.
Do it. I ordered it online. Custom.
You're going to be
He can take Jimmy G's number.
Oh, wow. That's a little too soon there, bud.
A little too soon. So he may not play the rest of the season. Lamar Jackson has been named the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if this is permanent, but Joe Flacco is going to be active and play second. I don't understand that. They have not been able to move the ball through the air at all.
Haven't they won 4 games in a row, though?
Blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Talk to me next year when Lamar Jackson blows.
Okay, well, as long as they keep winning games.
He can't even throw the football, Rick.
He can throw the football. Okay. Not well.
Okay, Tim Tebow. All right.
He's all right. Well, he's not Tim Tebow bad, but
that is very true. I do like Tim Tebow.
He's kind of like, I think what their hope is, he's like classic RG3 before all the ACLs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they said RG3 was supposed to be Mike Vick before he got hurt.
Yeah, so I mean that's probably what the hope is for Lamar Jackson.
I don't. Well, here's the problem: is that RG3 actually had somewhat of an arm talent.
I mean,
Lamar Jackson just doesn't. If you so
it's not good, but it's not. I don't know
on
if
the
it's
surface when you're looking online, you're getting notifications from ESPN, and they're talking about how Lamar Jackson's going to start, and you're looking at fantasy numbers, and you're like, oh man, this guy's actually kind of decent. Forget about the numbers.
He can make a throw.
Go watch the game. I watched. They were facing the Chiefs this week, right? Yeah. I was watching the Chiefs in Baltimore, and my God, he was not good. He's not it's not just beyond it's the look. Like you can look at the numbers and say, okay, he's been decent, but when you actually watch him play, he's not that great. So Lamar Jackson, not a good move for Baltimore.
As long as they keep winning.
Yeah, as long as they keep winning, I guess. But next season they really got to address that situation.
I disagree.
Oh boy.
Considering he's young too. He's a rookie, dude. Rookie quarterback.
Nah. The Vikings fired John DeFilippo today. Filippo? I don't know if I spelled that right.
What's that? A scapegoat?
Yeah, for Mr. Mike Zimmer.
And Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, that's true.
If we're being honest.
What's interesting about this is that John DeFilippo, I think I'm saying that right, he was supposed to get a head coaching job, and something happened that he had to.
Oh right,
yeah. He was the offensive coordinator for Philly. Mm-hmm. And then he ended up taking a job with the Vikings as the offensive coordinator, and he wasn't actually doing a terrible job. I think it's just the fact that they had Kirk Cousins at quarterback.
Yeah, it's the fact that you paid
$90 million to Kirk
someone
Cousins.
on NFL Network said this. It was like $98 million to an average quarterback at best.
Okay, let me ask you this. The Jets were in on Kirk Cousins. Would you rather have Darnold or Cousins?
Right now or for the next 5 years?
5 years.
Oh, Darnold.
All day.
Yeah.
I just don't even think. I think Darnold's better than Kirk Cousins right now.
Cousins
I don't know. Blows.
Darnold is like Eli Manning right now.
But the problem is this DeFilippo guy.
Interceptions.
He was supposedly in the conversation for some of these head coaching positions that have opened
now
up.
He's screwed.
And now he's gone. He got fired. There's no reason why he should have been fired. The reason why the Vikings below is because of Mike Zimmer. The Vikings have such a good defense, and they can't effectively.
They have talent all over that roster.
Yeah,
Stephon Diggs and Thielen is one
Kyle
of the best
Rudolph
duos.
Too. He's
Kyle
a
Rudolph's
great
a good tight end. Yeah, Dalvin Cook and Latavius Murray should be good.
They've had the same problem for 5 years, and it's the fact that they've had no quarterback. It's a similar situation.
They were
in
hoping
Denver.
that would be Kirk Cousins, but let's be real.
I know. You have a better chance, honestly speaking. If I'm an NFL GM, to take us on a side note, if I'm an NFL GM and I'm looking for a quarterback, I'm going to the draft. I'm not going to sign one of these guys that have played in the NFL and had one good season.
One of those mediocre. Yeah.
Yeah, because
if you're looking for
these
a
guys get
franchise
$90 million. Even as much as I love Jimmy Garoppolo and I'm happy that he got it. For a guy that has gotten hurt in both the seasons that he has started in, it's not a good sign to pay him $120 million and then expect him to live out the entirety of that contract and be effective. Right now, they have a guy, Nick Mullins, who's actually playing pretty effectively. So it's you get these quarterbacks who haven't really proven anything in the NFL, and you're giving them $120 million. It just doesn't make any sense.
Now, this is a little different because the team drafted him and developed him. But Matt Stafford is getting paid has a $135 million contract.
And he's not that great. He's good, but he's not great.
He's better than Kirk Cousins.
Top 10, 15.
But yeah, right. He's very slightly above average.
He gets them wins, but he's not.
If you put Kirk Cousins, if you put Matt Stafford on the Eagles last year, they probably still win the Super Bowl. He's good enough to win a Super Bowl if you have a great team around him.
Yeah.
But he's not good enough to carry you to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, very true.
You know what I mean?
Odell Beckham has missed his second straight game with a quad injury. And this week, he has missed 2 straight practices. It is looking like he's going to be out this week. So there goes those giant chances that you were just referring to earlier.
They're still in it.
They're
mathematically
still in it. Yeah, without Odell Beckham, Eli Manning's a garbage can. I don't think he's on
they're
the
playing
field.
the Titans this week.
Eli Manning's hurt?
No, he's fine.
They took him out last game for some
did
reason.
they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, they were winning 40-10.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, why are they taking him out? They don't even have a backup quarterback. I'm surprised they put the punter in.
No, didn't they draft someone this year? But it was like a 4th round pick.
Probably.
3rd or 4th. It was the guy you want, I think, Mason Rudolph, or is he on
No, Mason Rudolph's the Steelers.
It was one of the guys.
Can I say something about Mason Rudolph? Why was he not playing in that game? Why was Josh Dobbs playing in that game when Ben Roethlisberger got hit?
That is a very interesting question.
Because Josh Dobbs sucked. He was bad. I was like, if you're going to take Ben Roethlisberger out because you're worried about him, why don't you get Mason Rudolph some playing time if you think he's the future? Josh Dobbs was bad. Like, the second Ben Roethlisberger came back into that game, Antonio Brown had like 3 catches, and it was like 70 yards. I was like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, but Odell is going to miss
they drafted
second straight practice.
a quarterback from Richmond in the 4th round. I don't know his name.
Know the school, don't know his name.
Yeah, I know the school, don't know his name.
Let's move on. Coach Mike Tomlin said James Conner has a chance, just a chance, to play this week. He also noted that he had a good week last week, and he would have to have a perfect week this week in order to play against the Patriots. I think James Conner is going to miss some time in this game.
Yep, Connor's probably not playing.
Big time. Melvin Gordon is not expected to play this week and is questionable for this Thursday's game. Do you think the Chargers are going to take a risk on this guy?
I think they're going to, but I know what you're going to say about this matter, but I agree with what you're about to say with it.
I don't think they should play Melvin Gordon right now. They're not going to. As much as I'm rooting for the Chargers to win this game, they've had a really great season, by the way.
Because you hate the Chiefs.
I hate the Chiefs so much. Oh my gosh. When they beat Baltimore on Sunday, and I can't remember what happened, but Pat Mahomes was running down the sideline celebrating like he won the Super Bowl. Yeah. I was like, oh, this team makes me sick.
Yeah. Should I get myself a Mahomes jersey?
You know how I said I don't hate any team in the NFL? I think I hate the Chiefs now.
Yeah, you've been saying that for like a few weeks.
But I don't think they should play Melvin. You save him for the playoffs. You have a chance at this game with or without Melvin Gordon. And I think obviously Melvin makes a little bit of a difference, but if you can keep him out and you can still have a chance to win, I would do that. I'm not going to force a guy to come back from an MCL
I don't think they're winning the game, especially if Melvin Gordon is out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hard game in Kansas
It's going to be
City.
a really hard game, but I just don't see why you would put Melvin in there. I mean, I know he wants to be on the field, right? Like, they came out and then the coach Anthony, their Chargers coach Anthony Lynn said that Melvin Gordon has he's not optimistic that he was going to play this week. Mm-hmm. 10 minutes after that, Melvin Gordon puts out a tweet with him and Phillip Rivers, a picture of him and Phillip Rivers, and it said "war ready," period. And I'm like, he's playing this week. There's no freaking way he's not. I don't think it's a good idea for him to go out, but he's pushing very hard to get there. As a side question, do you think Melvin's going to get a ton of playing time if he's active, or
maybe it might be a little less than usual, but
he has traveled with the team to Kansas City, by the way.
Yeah, he's playing. He'll get like if he usually gets 80%, I think
it's going to be game time. It's going to be a game time decision, 100%. So that's all we have. Do you have anything else to add that you heard about this week that we don't know about?
Oh, I'm just here so I won't get fined. You know, I'm also here just to watch my fantasy
so I won't
team.
get fined. Let's move on to the show talking points. We're just going to discuss for quite a while some interesting points from the week. Once again, on this show, we find ourselves talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers after losing 3 straight games. 3 straight. One to Oakland. The Oakland Raiders. Will the Steelers make the playoffs?
Let's not get dumb here. Yeah.
Do you know who's on their tail?
Who?
Indianapolis, who just beat Houston.
Hold on, let me pull up the standings.
And they're facing New England and Kansas City the rest of the season. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs.
Maybe that's not so stupid.
I'm not crazy.
They have 4 games left, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't play the Chiefs.
Oh, they don't. Sorry, I lied.
They have 3 games left.
No, they don't, do they?
Yeah, they have 3 games left.
How?
They play week 15, 16, 17.
Oh, sorry, right. I added a week to the NFL season, my dude.
They play the Patriots.
Yep.
They play the Saints.
Yep.
They play the Bengals.
So if they lose to the Patriots this week and the Colts win out, the Colts make the playoffs.
The Colts play the Cowboys, which is a tough game, actually.
Yeah.
The Giants.
Oh man, that's you know what? I don't even know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch
this
that.
it's gonna come down to the wire, which is interesting.
That game hurts my soul.
Colts and oh my gosh.
Who am I rooting for?
It's funny, the way you feel about the Chiefs is like the way I feel about the Cowboys.
The way I feel about the Cowboys is the way you feel about the Chiefs.
Exactly.
I think there's a real shot that the Pittsburgh Steelers could miss the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
A real shot. I told you that there was a real chance that they could only win 9 games and go 9-6, and then now they just lost to a team they should have beat.
Now they could go 8-7-1.
They're probably they don't have James Conner.
They have to beat the Patriots this week,
and they're probably not going to.
They're gonna play out of their minds this week.
Just try to, as much as you can without Jamie Conner.
Jamie Conner. This is going to be a great game.
I think that it'll be interesting because the Pittsburgh Steelers have been... I think it's funny because at the beginning of the season when they went to 1-2-1, and I can't remember if we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but they went 1-2-1 to start the season. Then they went on that tear, and everyone was talking about how they were like, oh, they might make the bye week. The Patriots should be worried because the Steelers are going to get the bye week. Well, no, not really. They just lost 3 straight games, 1 to the Oakland Raiders. That's all I need to say. 1 to the Oakland Raiders. A 2-6 Oakland Raiders, my dude, or 2-8 or something like that.
2-9, 2-10.
I don't even know.
Something like that.
They lost to a very bad football team. A very bad football team. And they're a mess right now. I think that the problems that Mike Tomlin had at the beginning of the season that we talked about, they never went away. And in my humble opinion, I think that Mike Tomlin, after the season, if the Steelers miss the playoffs, should be fired. I think he should be fired. That defense is not as good as it looked last year. He has 2 great receivers, a good offensive line, and a good quarterback, and you can't get yourself to the postseason. Come on. And whose fault is that? It's not Ben Roethlisberger's. It's not Antonio Brown's.
Roethlisberger hasn't been great.
He hasn't been great, but it's not his. I don't put it on him. He's an old man. They have him. They have him throw 50 times a game, and he gets smashed into the turf half the time.
If the Steelers do miss the playoffs this year,
yeah,
I think you do have a legitimate argument for firing Mike Tomlin.
The guy's a clown.
I don't know about that one.
He's a player. He's a player pleaser.
In this modern NFL, is he a top 10 coach in the league?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So that's where you have to be careful.
Yeah, so is Andy Reid, which is a problem.
That's true. But that's what I mean. If you fire him, are you going to get someone better? Who do you have to replace him? Unless you have John Harbaugh in your backseat or Nick Saban.
You could argue.
You know what I mean?
You could argue.
Urban Meyer.
I hate to bring up Josh McDaniels in every conversation, but they would probably try to go after him.
I don't know.
And I think maybe he would like that situation because with Ben Roethlisberger on the last couple years of his career, and then having the future that they drafted Mason Rudolph, he can develop.
Your guy.
Yeah, my guy. They can develop
Probably
him.
never gonna play in the NFL.
Josh McDaniels can develop him and build him into a player that he wants him to be, and that's a situation that I think he would want to be. He's a bunch of young talent there. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster, when AB retires or leaves the team, he's gonna be fantastic. So it's like they got options there. And I think that that's a great situation for Josh McDaniels to plop himself into. I think the Steelers have options. But Mike Tomlin, he's too much of a player pleaser. There's more problems in the locker room with him there than without him there for some reason. I can't figure it out. But that whole team is a disaster right now. And they just lost to the Oakland Raiders. I can't get over that point. It's like the Oakland freaking Raiders. How do you lose to the Raiders?
You have to be very sloppy.
Yeah, and they were very sloppy in that game. I want to bring up a side point. Do you think after all of this, because now we have 3 weeks left in the season, 4 weeks left in the season, whatever it is, and so we've seen most of the season play out. There's not much more that we can see to kind of change our minds as far as the Steelers could go on a 3 or 4 game winning streak and make the playoffs, and everyone could be talking how good they are. That could still happen. But at this point, a lot has been determined. We see how the teams have played. We know who they are. Do you think Le'Veon Bell's absence has affected the Pittsburgh Steelers?
This is so hard for me to answer.
It is a hard question to answer. I'm not going to lie.
I think I would say no when Connor is in there, but he has missed a few games this year.
James Conner?
Yeah.
So does Le'Veon.
So then no, I don't think so.
I think
they'd probably be in the same spot.
Le'Veon has been, and I hate to say it, he's obviously the better running back. Nobody has ever disagreed with that. Le'Veon is more consistent in his play than James Conner. James Conner has had groups of games where he's blown up and then groups of games where he has sucked. And so the thing for me is that where you have Le'Veon, whenever he steps on the field, he's good. That is the situation that you got. I love James Conner, but I just think Le'Veon is better. And I think Le'Veon, I said this before, I don't know how, I don't know why it happens, but Le'Veon Bell makes Antonio Brown better. It makes the tight ends better. It makes the offensive line better. For some reason, it makes the whole offense as a whole more efficient. And I think that, even when you look at last year, you look at AB's numbers compared to this year, right?
Is that a Le'Veon Bell thing, though, or is that a Ben Roethlisberger thing?
I mean, it may be Ben Roethlisberger, but...
Because I'd say it's a Ben Roethlisberger thing.
To me, Ben Roethlisberger's been on the field. Le'Veon Bell has not. And so the differences between this team last year and this team this year, the only player that's absent, really, is Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, but I mean that's
and they're not winning games. Last year they were they had the second best record in the AFC.
Between Le'Veon Bell and James Conner though is that much?
Yes.
See, we've disagreed with that all year.
I think James Conner has good numbers, but he's not doing the things that Le'Veon did. And I think even people would argue that James Conner has had better numbers than Le'Veon Bell in the past, and that's true. But he's still not doing what Le'Veon does because
that much better.
You kind of look at. I hate to use a basketball analogy or reference.
Oh boy!
But you see a guy like Steph Curry. He puts up these amazing numbers, right? Mm-hmm. He puts up these awesome numbers, and then you see what's the guy in Phoenix?
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. Thank you, Devin Booker. He puts up great numbers, great 3-point shooter. The guy's a great player, right? Mm-hmm. But his team blows. And Steph Curry's team is good. And Steph Curry won games before this whole 5-man beast happened. But my point is that Devin Booker is good and Steph Curry are good. When you look at their stats on paper, you go, oh, they look like the same player. But then when you look at them on the floor, Steph Curry makes guys better, Devin Booker doesn't. And so it's that's kind of the way I look at it, is that they may put up the same numbers, but for some reason Le'Veon's making the team better and James Conner wasn't. Just as another side question, do you think that there's a chance that Le'Veon may return to the Pittsburgh Steelers next year? I agree.
Next question.
I agree, but hey, they might.
No.
They miss the playoffs and they go, oh. Well, Hey,
Le'Veon, you still on line 6?
He's still interesting. He's like, freak you. You didn't give me your contract.
Y'all could give me $5 million, $500 million, $500 billion.
I want.
And I ain't going anywhere near Pittsburgh.
I want $22.5 million, and I want a private jet with as much food as I can eat. I want you to basically buy my houses.
I want a little yacht with a little yachty.
Little yachty on it. Pay him to be there. That's what I want. Yeah, he's not coming back.
I also want to be head coach and quarterback.
It's an interesting question though to kind of ask, because we obviously that's a hypothetical. Obviously, we will never know if Le'Veon Bell was a difference between this team being, a 12-win team to being a 9 or 10-win team. So I mean, I'm not sure. If they miss the playoffs, I think there's going to be a lot of soul searching, and it's going to start with Mike Tomlin. I think it's also going to start with, obviously they love James Conner, and I think he's going to develop into a better player, and he's going to be fine. I think they'll roll with him, and they're not going to look at Le'Veon and say, hey, you want to come back, because he's cheaper. Obviously, if you get the same production for cheaper, you go with that. They just need to figure out why their offense is just as good as it was last year, but it's not performing as efficiently. Let's get to the next point. A lot of pundits wrote off the Seattle Seahawks, including yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Including yourself 2 weeks ago. The Seattle Seahawks are not that good.
Still don't think they're that good.
Is Seattle a true contender?
See, here's what I've been saying about Seattle, though.
Okay.
When they are at home, like they were this week, they can beat just about anybody in this league.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rams are going to win that division. The Seahawks are going to be a wild card team. And when the Seahawks are on the road, they're not the same team. So, yes, they're going to make the playoffs. Yes, they're better than I thought.
They almost beat the Rams on the road.
But you can almost beat a team.
They've beaten teams on the road. They're not good teams.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Oakland.
I think if Jimmy Garoppolo
Arizona.
played this entire year,
yeah. Yeah, that would be a much different conversation.
Yeah, I think that'd be much different too.
I don't fully disagree with that sentiment. The only thing is, I think the Seahawks have always played better at home. Like, that's part of the reason why they lost that. I think that's part of the reason why they lost that Super Bowl to the Patriots back in the past, is that they've always been a team. Unfortunately, they have a great stadium. I say unfortunately, but unfortunately they have the great fan base, a great stadium, but they can't play in front of them all 16 games. They can only play in front of an 8. So that's always been a problem for them. That's always been a situation. And unfortunately, like the Patriots, they haven't really had that same problem, but they play fantastic in front of their fans, and they find a way to make it happen on the road. So it's like that's what makes great teams succeed over time, is finding the balance between those two things. But when I look at Seattle, it's just they've been playing really well. It's not like they've been just, flaking. They went into Carolina and they beat Carolina 30-27 in a huge game where that had a lot of implications, a lot of playoff implications. And they almost beat the Rams 2 weeks earlier, 31-36. So
the Rams were in control for that entire game, though. Yeah,
but it just, to me, it kind of looks like they're not fallible at home either. The Chargers beat them 25-17 earlier in the season, but I think that they have the ability to win on the road. They have the ability to win at home. I think that they had a rough start to the beginning of the season, and now you look at the team and they're playing very, very good football. And Russell Wilson has been playing very well. They finally figured out the running, not finally figured out, but their committee backfield is working, sort of, kind of.
Chris Carson had 90 yards this week and a touchdown.
There you go, boss. Not going to happen again.
Well, he's playing against San Fran this week, so I don't know.
I mean, I think with the experience that they have and the type of team that they are, they could be a team that makes a push this year. Because I think there's a lot of teams like if you look at Seattle, they played Dallas. Are you worried about Seattle in that game, even though it's on the road?
I think, yeah. I don't know who I'd pick in that
I think
game.
Seattle could beat the Bears. I think Seattle could beat the Cowboys.
I think they could beat the Cowboys. I think the Bears are less likely, but
I mean,
not impossible though.
In a real scenario, they would have to face one of those teams. So I think that Seattle could definitely. They have the experience. They're going to face one of those teams, but they have the experience to beat the Cowboys and the Bears. 100%. The Bears have no experience. The Cowboys have no experience.
Cowboys have a little experience,
but Seattle, they'll be okay. And that's when you that's what begs the question is going into the next round. You either have to face New Orleans, or you have to face LA.
I don't think they're winning either of those games.
I don't think they can win either of those games either. But if there's any team that would come out of the wild card round that could beat one of those two teams, I would say it's Seattle. Because I don't think
I'd say
if the Cowboys face one of those teams, do you think they're winning?
No.
If the Bears face one of those two teams, do you think they're winning?
I'd give them more of a chance than the Cowboys, but no.
So to me, I don't think that's gonna. Carolina blows. I don't even know who the second wild card team is right now.
I think Carolina, right?
I think it's Carolina.
Oh no, is it the Vikings? Even though they've lost like 2 in a row.
The Vikings are 6-6. Carolina is 6-7, and the Eagles are 6-7. So yeah, that's the Vikings.
Wow, the Vikings have lost 2 straight games, and they're still the 6th seed.
Yeah, they're still in it. But I do believe in the Packers. Believe it or not.
Wow, imagine. Rodgers' last 3 games of the season throws like 20 touchdowns.
There's an interim head coach going to the playoffs. All of a sudden,
he's a bad man.
It can happen. You know who they play this week?
Who?
They play Minnesota.
Really? Haven't they already played them twice?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I think you're looking at the wrong thing.
I may be looking
because they had the tie in the beginning of the year, and then they played like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're playing Miami. I don't know why.
No, they played Miami this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're playing Miami this week.
Did they already play? No, they already played Miami. What are you looking at? Hold on.
I'm serious. They're playing Miami this week.
They've played Miami already this year.
No, they have not.
Yes, they have.
They have not.
I'm pretty sure they have.
Dude.
I'm like 70% sure they have.
Yeah, maybe in the preseason. It says Sunday they're facing the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
They're
not. They're playing the Bears this week.
That's got to be a lie.
What are you looking at?
No idea. They're not facing the Bears this week, my dude.
They are facing the Bears this week.
Are they?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I traded Aaron Jones, because they played the Bears week 15.
What is my...
What
am I looking at?
Green Bay Packers 1975 schedule.
I'm being serious, man. I don't know what's going on here.
You're looking at the Vikings schedule.
That's who we're talking about.
We were talking about the Packers.
We're moving a little. Well, actually, I'm moving a little slow today.
I think we
we've had
some pregame weed.
Anyway, yeah, there's a good chance that the Packers might actually be able to sneak into the playoffs. I knew somebody was facing somebody. That's a good start. I have a question for you though. Who would you rather have, Andrew Luck or Russell Wilson?
Luck. That's not a question. Oh, okay, it's a question because Russell Wilson's, especially
Andrew freaking Luck.
For most years, I've been like Russell Wilson's kind of overrated.
He is. He's very efficient, but I think he's if he threw the ball as much as,
but he's played really well this year,
as much as Tom Brady did, he would be very, very good. But he just, for some reason, Pete Carroll's an idiot.
They run the. Did you see the?
Actually, not for some reason.
They run
Pete
the
Carroll's
ball.
Just an idiot.
47% of the time, I think it is.
Yep.
Which is the most in the NFL by like 5%.
And they're still winning football games.
Yeah.
Crazy. I would take Andrew Luck over Russell Wilson. I think he's the better quarterback.
I think Luck is top
There are
three,
people
probably,
who believe that Russell Wilson has this aura about him, that he's got a lot.
Oh yeah, I think he does.
He's got this. He's got like the argument is that he's got more mental toughness than Andrew Luck. He's got he's more clutch than Andrew Luck. All this stuff, which I don't
think Luck isn't clutch though.
I think Luck is Luck. Like literally, so many people are looking so down on Andrew Luck, and I'm like, this season has been not spectacular, but what he has done with absolutely nothing, I've said this before, is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
He beat Houston this week. He beat Houston.
Nobody's talking about that game.
The Colts, they didn't beat Houston. Andrew Luck beat Houston this week. And nobody did talk about that game. So I think I would definitely take Andrew Luck. The Seattle Seahawks do have a chance. I think they are a real contender. If they can sneak, Rick, out of... It's going to be hard. Because I think they can get out of the first round. They get to the NFC divisional games, right? Mm-hmm. And they're going to have to face New Orleans or LA. And then they get to the NFC Championship game. They're going to have to face New Orleans or LA. And then they get to the Super Bowl, and they're probably going to have to face the Chiefs, Patriots, or Chargers. And so that is a hard stretch of games to win a Super Bowl. But all you got to do is get into those games and see what happens.
To the dance.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota had no right to win that game against New Orleans last year on the Stephen Diggs touchdown.
Case Keenum.
And they pulled it off. Take a blown out by the Philly the next game. But let's move on to the next point. This Thursday night, I wanted to get to this Thursday night because this is one of the best games of the season. I didn't plan anything for a get-together, but we have one of the biggest matchups in the 2019 season. The Chiefs are facing off against the Chargers. Is this an AFC Championship preview?
I really want to say yes because, as I've said on the show about gazillion times,
yes,
I had the Chargers Saints Super Bowl in the preseason, and I want to stick with that. But it's hard not to say the Patriots are going to make the AFC Championship. It's really hard not to do that.
Yep.
This could very well be the AFC Championship. I think if it's not going to be the Patriots,
it'll be the Chiefs.
This will be, I think this will be the AFC Championship.
You know what's interesting about this? I have this strange. Like everyone is just on Sunday after the Chiefs won against Baltimore. Everyone literally ripped their pants off. They were like, KC, they're the class of the AFC. They Tony Romo on live air. He's like, That's it. They just won the bye week and the home field advantage. That was it. And I'm like, they haven't even won their own freaking division yet. Like if they win this week, if they win this week, they clinch everything. But if they lose to the Chargers this week, Rick, the Chargers take the lead in the division. All the Chargers have to do is win out, and it's over. And they win the division, and the Chiefs end up with the wild card spot. Can you believe that? Would that not be crazy?
Wow.
All season, the Chiefs have been the best team in the AFC, and they end up with a wild card spot just because the Chargers.
If the Chiefs are in a wild card spot, does that change your view?
Of the team? No, but it does change my view of how far they can get. Do I think Andy Reid can get through 3 playoff games without puking on himself? Heck no. Heck no.
Like, if the Chiefs are the 5 seed, right? They play,
because he's going to call all of his timeouts at the beginning of the third quarter one game and be down by.
Let's say the Chiefs go into Baltimore. Baltimore wins the division, not the Steelers.
Okay.
Are they winning that game in Baltimore?
Maybe not.
I think they probably would, but
do you know why
that's a very tough game?
Do you know why that game is important and why you probably, as a Patriots fan, should root for the Los Angeles Chargers every show?
In the jar.
Every show. It's freaking Los Angeles. I have another side note. I don't want to say it. Apparently, just as a quick thing, apparently Oakland is suing the Raiders for going to Vegas. They're saying that they're not allowed to. So,
man, the NFL is really fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, so as a Patriots fan, you should be rooting for the Los Angeles Chargers, and I'll tell you why. Because if they win and they take over the lead in the division, right? And then the Chargers win out and win that division, they get the 2nd seed, which means if the Chargers make the AFC Championship game, you have to go to LA, which is not that hard for you. But that also means that the Kansas City Chiefs would not play the Patriots. If they play them in the postseason, they would not play the Patriots in KC. They would play them in New England.
Right.
So basically, they would, by losing tomorrow night, they would get their heart and soul ripped out of them.
Because playing in LA is a lot more appealing than playing in Kansas City.
100%. For some reason, I have this strange feeling that some stupid team like last year is going to get to the AFC Championship game,
Texans,
like Baltimore or Houston.
Colts.
That'll be interesting. Oh, would that be interesting? Houston against the New England Patriots. That would be fun.
Oh, well, it would be interesting, but the Patriots, I think, would stomp them.
Toast. In New England, Bill O'Brien would puke all over.
It'd be like remember the Letterman jacket game?
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Oh, 100%. It'll be interesting. I am going to say no. I don't think it's an AFC Championship preview. I don't think that, believe it or not, I think the Chiefs can get there. I mean, I think the Chargers can get there, but I don't think the Chiefs can get there. For some reason, I get this strange feeling. Because everyone looks at me and says, "Oh, well, you must think that that Patrick Mahomes is going to choke in this game." Nope, he didn't have to choke. All you got to do is have Andy Reid call 3 timeouts in the third quarter in a close game, because that's what he does in the playoffs. He doesn't know how to make play calls. He doesn't know much of anything in the playoffs, and all he does is puke on himself. So, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm worried about my head coach and not my quarterback. You know what I mean? But I don't know. For some reason, too, at the end of as much as we were talking about that Pat Mahomes throw across his body, no look pass, all that stuff, right, and the ridiculous throws that he makes at the end of the New Orleans game when they lost, right? He did throw it down the field on 3 consecutive drives and throw 2 or 3 picks? I think it was 2.
Something like that.
2 consecutive drives and threw 2 picks. And I'm always like, at some point, the gunslinger thing is going to come to bite him in the butt. Well, if there's one place that something like that comes to bite you in the butt, it comes against experienced playoff teams. So it should get interesting. I'm not sure. This year, when you look at the field, if the Pittsburgh Steelers don't make the playoffs, who has playoff experience? I mean, the Chargers defense, no playoff experience.
Right. Phillip Rivers has playoff experience, but the Chargers don't really have playoff experience.
Right.
The Ravens kind of have playoff experience a little bit.
But their defense
Lamar
doesn't.
Jackson has no playoff experience.
I don't think he's going to play the rest of the season, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But anyway.
As of right now, he is.
Let's move on to the Patriots Minute. We're going to spend the next minute talking about the New England Patriots because we are Patriots fans.
True.
So why not talk about our team, right? We kind of blew this week. The Patriots lost to the Finns in dramatic fashion. Do you think this loss is going to negatively affect the Patriots?
No, because it's the Patriots. right? It's
Pretty
Bill
fast,
Belichick
yeah.
is the coach.
Yep.
There's not really too much to say about that.
Nope.
Maybe if they were a dumb young team, like the
Chiefs.
Jaguars. You and the Chiefs, man. You got to
I
lay
hate
off.
the Chiefs, man. He's like, I got to lay off.
Yeah, but no.
Spend
An
the whole
experienced
Patriots
veteran
talking
team like
about
the
the
Patriots, it's not. Gonna
No, I literally every time something like this happens, for some reason, it lights Bill Belichick's fire coals inside his little chest. It gets him all ticked off, and then he starts yelling at the team, making them run up hills. Like, yeah, no, he'll be fine. The Patriots are going to come out next week, and I don't even know who they're facing, but they'll probably shred whoever it
Steelers?
is. Oh, Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. They should flex that game to Monday night, by the way.
That'd be lit. Well, the Monday night game's pretty good, I think.
Was it Sunday night? One of the games blows, and it shouldn't be.
It might
a
be the
night
Sunday
game.
night.
Sunday night, something like that. But anyway, I think the Rams are playing Sunday night again.
Are they?
Yeah, but against some trash team. I might be wrong about
I'm
that.
looking this up.
Anyway, I'll find out later. Yeah, as far as the Patriots are concerned, I don't think it's going to negatively affect them.
It's Eagles-Rams, by the way.
Eagles
Sunday night.
Rams. Oh, that's not bad.
No,
Meh.
Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah, Nick Foles. I'll shred him. Nick Foles will throw 4 touchdowns.
Monday Night Football is
Go
Saints
pick up Nick
Panthers,
Foles,
so.
everyone. If you have a fantasy team in the playoffs and you're streaming quarterbacks all year, frankly, if you
Nick
didn't find-
Foles is a top-notch pickup. He'll be a top 7 quarterback this week.
everyone in fantasy
kidding.
goes out at the beginning of the season. Well, anyone good at fantasy starts the season with either trying to find like a gem quarterback that no one knew about, or streaming quarterbacks until you find one. If you're still out there and you're in the fantasy playoffs and you have been streaming fantasy quarterbacks all season, you got a problem. Go pick up Nick Foles.
Well, maybe if you had Carson Wentz.
You have options. Josh Allen, go get him.
Josh Allen's a good one. At this point, you play matchups.
Yeah, play matchups. Let's go to Lemons, buy or sell. So I'll start with the first one. The Saints offense isn't as good as we all thought. Do you buy that or do you sell it?
I sell. I think it's still pretty good. 2 bad weeks. You still have Mark Ingram. You still have Alvin Kamara. You still have Michael Thomas.
You're
You
not
still have
concerned?
Drew Brees.
You're not concerned about Drew Brees'
No.
age
No.
becoming a factor?
We weren't concerned 3 weeks ago. Right?
Right.
So, I'm still not concerned. If they do this in the playoffs,
I don't even think it's the whole offense. I think it's just Drew Brees is such an important cog to the offense that when they stop playing well, it's on Drew Brees. Like the past 3 weeks, they have not been good because Drew Brees has not been good.
that's kind of scary.
And if Drew Brees is going to act like an old man rest of the season, then you got some problems in the Saints offense. So I don't know if that's going to be a huge effect on them. You always got, what is that guy's name? Taysom Hill.
Oh yeah.
Throw him in there. See if he can throw a pass. I've never seen him throw a real pass in my
Neither have
life.
I.
So I'm gonna. It's the Saints offense though. I'm gonna buy it.
Wow.
Yeah. I
So
don't.
you're pretty much saying the Saints aren't going anywhere in the playoffs if that's the case.
If that's the case, yeah, I'm basically saying that. Yep.
So what you're saying is in your heart right now is it's a Cowboys Rams NFC Championship.
In my heart and soul, yeah. I've been riding the Cowboys all year. I'm gonna take them every game.
Do you have the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
When
does the train stop?
I do think in the middle of the season, the Saints offense got a little bit overrated, and it was those 3 insane games. Those 4 straight insane games that Drew Brees had.
They scored like 40 points.
Yeah, everyone was freaking out. I think everyone got a little high on the Saints, and then when they came back down to earth, everyone freaked out. And it's like, no, they were like this all season.
Yeah.
And now that, things are coming back, things are slowing down a little bit. It's December. Defenses are starting to figure themselves out. The Saints offense, I don't think it's as good as we all thought it was when it went on that 4-game tear. So we'll see what happens as the season goes along, but I'm going to buy it. Number 2, the Browns can win out and make the playoffs.
Really?
This is opinion. They still have a chance, yes.
That's wild.
So do you think it's going to happen or no?
No.
So you sell it.
No, sell.
I'm going to sell it.
I love the Browns.
I'm going to sell it.
Next
They're
year.
5-7-1.
Hot take. Record this. Save this.
I will.
Put it on your wall. The Cleveland Browns will win the NFC, the AFC North
I always
division.
thought it was the MC team.
I don't know. They're gonna win the
the
AFC North next year.
Wow. Pittsburgh Steelers falling off a cliff. The Brownies. I really do like the Browns.
Reed Brownies.
Yeah, honestly. The Browns are a very, very interesting team to watch next year because they could come out and win 9-10 games, or they could very well completely collapse. You know, it's one of those things because they're getting a new head coach, right?
Right.
And they're moving forward with that, and they got to find the right one. They have the pieces. They drafted Baker Mayfield. He's good. They have a good offensive line. They have Nick Chubb. Those 2 draft picks this year, very good. Like, people talked about the year Zeke Elliott came out and Dak Prescott came out in the same year, the 2 rookies. They came out, had a great season. Obviously, it's the Browns. You can't do that, but I'm not putting them on the level of Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, but you got a similar situation right there, a little baby version of it that in 3 or 4 years could actually turn out to be really, really good.
Side note, Chubb was a 2nd-round pick, correct?
No, they had 2 top 10 picks.
Yeah,
Wait,
but you're right, but they didn't take they took a cornerback in the top 10. It was Baker Mayfield, and then they took a defensive player.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so
I'm sorry.
Nick Chubb, I believe he was a 2nd-round pick.
Second
I'm
round
looking
pick.
that up right now.
But
yes, so he was a 2nd-round pick. So this is just a side note. As a Patriots fan,
yep.
Do you regret the Patriots taking Sony over Nick Chubb?
Yeah. No.
Too early to call?
It's too early to call. I think Nick Chubb is he's a guy that needs the ball 50% of the time, like as a running back. I think he's one of those guys that needs to get rolling, and it takes him 10 carries to do it. And if he doesn't get, like Mark Ingram, he could go out on his second run and get 50 yards and a touchdown, and all of a sudden he goes off in that game and he has a great game. Nick Chubb's the guy that needs to pound it up the middle, get 4 yards, pound it up the middle, get 6 yards, pound it up the middle, get 10 yards. And then once he starts, once he gets past 10, 11 carries, that's when he gets
in a groove.
Yeah, once he gets in a groove, he's big time, but he doesn't do it right away. He's not first play, smash it up the middle, all of a sudden you're breaking away. He's talented, but he's not Zeke Elliott or Todd Gurley. So I'm going to say the Browns are in an interesting situation. They have to find the right head coach this time. They have to. They have no choice. Like, if they find the wrong coach, they're screwing up their chances.
We've brought this guy up a gazillion times, but Josh McDaniels.
I know. That's a situation that he would actually
Would you take that job?
Because I think the people who are saying...
Because I would.
The Patriots are interested in Baker Mayfield. Really, this is what they're saying. Josh McDaniels is interested in Baker Mayfield. So the Patriots, Josh McDaniels could go to Cleveland.
That's a good spot.
It would be a good spot for him.
You have a young quarterback, you have a young offense, you have a decent young defense.
Yeah, they have some good pieces. I think they make the playoffs this year. As far as
another top 15 pick.
If they make the playoffs this year with their interim head coach, he'll get the job.
Yeah,
Cleveland's stupid.
You found your new head coach.
You know how much I roasted Cleveland for taking Mayfield? They probably could have traded back, gotten another first-round pick.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, if Mayfield was your guy,
like just work. See, Bill would have had that first overall pick.
Darnold.
Bill would have had that first-round pick and said, "I like Baker Mayfield, but let's move back a little bit, keep going, see how far we can."
Would the Giants have taken Baker Mayfield number 2?
Nope.
The Jets weren't going to take Baker Mayfield.
Nope. Darnold
but number 4, the Broncos might have.
But you trade back to the 4th and you get a second first-round pick. You would he would have had third first-round picks, 3 first-round picks.
Look what the Bears gave. I believe it was the Titans for Mitch Trubisky. Like they moved up one spot and they traded like a first-round pick, a third-round pick, a sixth-round pick.
You got to play that market. You can't just go, okay, I'm going to take Baker Mayfield.
But I mean, if you feel like Baker Mayfield is your guy, do you take any chance?
I'm a guy who likes chances. Yeah, I'd take a chance. To be honest with you, either they looked at all the other quarterbacks.
That's your guy.
If they looked at all the other quarterbacks in the class and said, I hate all of them, and then they were like, I like Baker Mayfield more. Like if you're asking me Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold right now, if I trade back and I miss out on Baker Mayfield, I'm taking Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Or you lose out and you get Saquon Barkley. Like, ooh, come on, trade back. You know what I mean?
Hindsight is 2020.
Hindsight is 2020. Well, no, because you're the Browns. It's easy to make that decision in the moment. Like, it wasn't like a hard decision.
That's true,
I'm literally sitting there and I'm like, they say, and the first overall pick is Baker Mayfield. I literally stared at my TV with my jaw dropped and I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
I remember when it happened, I was like, that's such a Browns pick.
It is such a Browns pick. And
now,
it will always be a Browns pick.
Even if it works, it's still a Browns pick.
It's still a Browns pick. Let's go to number 3. We're still in Lemons Buy or Sell, by the way. The Cowboys are a Super Bowl contender.
I hate to sell all 3 of these, but my gosh, sell. Sell.
Buying it.
Sell. Wow, what a shock. The Cowboys are going to lose.
They can beat the Saints.
Okay.
They can beat the Rams. They could beat anybody in the NFC and go to the Super Bowl. I'm saying it now. You heard it here first. Go back, listen to episode 19.
If the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl.
Rick and Morgan podcast, and listen to this segment and hear me say that the Cowboys are going to go to the Super Bowl.
If the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl,
I'll rip my pants off.
I will buy a Cowboys hat and go to Gillette next year.
I want an authentic Ezekiel Elliott jersey.
That's like $200, bro. I don't got
yeah,
that
dude.
money.
You got to take the plunge.
Fine, but that's fine. But if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl, then you have to do something.
Yeah, but I think the Chiefs can actually make the Super Bowl.
Oh, so the Cowboys can't?
Yeah, the Cowboys can.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Cowboys, Patriots.
Sell.
I'll rip my pants off and celebrate whoever wins. Do you know how happy I would if Zeke won a championship?
Oh my gosh.
Rip my pants off.
You'd be more happy if Zeke won a championship than if you won a fantasy championship.
It's true. Let's move to pick. Cue the music. Chargers at Chiefs, the big one.
The game of the week, the game of the year. You put your money on the Chiefs, baby.
I'm going to put the money straight on the Chargers.
Yeah, what a shock.
I'll take the Chargers.
Picking against the Chiefs.
Texans at Jets.
Texans.
Browns at Broncos.
I really want to say Browns, but I'm going to go Broncos.
I'm going to go Brownies. Cardinals at Falcons.
Falcons.
Raiders at Bengals.
This is like crap versus crap. I'm actually going to go Raiders. Ride the
I'll
streak.
take the Raiders. Ride the streak, baby. Dolphins at Vikings.
Vikings.
Cowboys. I'll take the Vikings. Cowboys at Colts.
Colts.
Draw. Tie.
Are you going to end the streak?
I'll take the Cowboys.
Nope.
Buccaneers at Ravens.
Ravens.
Lions at Bills.
I'm going with the Lions here, actually.
I'll take the Bills. Packers at Bears.
Bears.
Redskins at Jags.
Jags.
I'll take the Skins. Titans at Giants.
I'm going to go with the Giants here.
I'm going to say
You got to ride the Giants.
Yeah, let's try the Giants. Seahawks at 49ers. Seahawks. Patriots at Steelers.
Another big-time matchup. I'm going with
the Pittsburgh Patriots.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Patriots.
Yeah, let's go.
Patriots.
To draw, tie.
Although
Patriots.
I could really see the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers could win this game. Eagles at Rams. Rams,
yeah.
Saints at Panthers on Monday Night Football.
I'm going with the Panthers.
I'll say the Saints. That would almost they wouldn't have fully eliminate them, but that would be a very bad loss for Carolina. Very bad.
Oh yeah, they have to win.
They have to win that game. To close the show out, as always, we are going to give you our fantasy plays of the week. Just to give you an update.
Postseason time.
Just to give you an update, I advanced. I was supposed to get the bye week, but hey, I do the stupid. As the commissioner, I do divisions. Don't do that. I don't recommend divisions.
Well, when you have the two best teams in one division, that's kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
Two arch rivals.
I did not get a bye week, but I did win in the first round. So hey, I'm in the next round. Got a wholesome opponent.
Which is not me.
Which is not. I don't have this player, but I'm going to say Philip Lindsay against Cleveland.
You know who's the guy who I can see getting not 30 points this week, not 35 points this week, but a 40-point week? Patty Mahomes, baby. Big time, prime time matchup. Boom.
What a loser.
Boom. Boom. Touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, baby, all the way. And he's on my team, so I have to say that. Again, I think I picked McCaffrey this week for Player of the Week, and I think he had like 25 points or something like that. So,
dude,
wasn't quite there, but I was close.
Lindsay. Yeah, he's not even in playoff contention in our league anymore. But hey, Philip Lindsay, go. Do you have any closing thoughts for us, Rick?
This game, I might have to like leave work early tomorrow just to watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be such a good game. Get the popcorn, get the nachos, order a pizza from Pizza Pirate.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Let's just go to the game.
Yeah, let's fly out to Kansas City right now. See you later, Rick.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Rick and Morgan podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube, and check us out online at lemonsportsnetwork.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at RickMorganPod. See ya.